Hey there, Hollywood fans. Welcome to this week's show. So as you can see, back in the studio, we've been on the road for the last couple of weeks, but now it's time to get smashing those keyboards and hammer out those edits. 2 weeks ago, we wrapped up shop out at the FJs, and that was a spectacular 5-round championship. We're now in the closing stages of the GXCCs. Last weekend, round number 6 of the GXCCs, and the third visit of the season out at Delmas. It was a banger of a race. Really cool track. I had the pleasure of riding it the day before as well. Super cool track. Raced absolutely incredibly well and started to set things up for what looks like is going to be a crazy last couple of rounds in the championship. Anyway, this is what went down out at Delmas, round number 6 of the championship.
All this GXCC racing action is proudly brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield in association with Vans Racing. GXCC time once again. 3/4 marker of the season. Delmas. The third visit to the Delmas area in 2025. We're out here in Delmas for the third visit of the season, round number 6 of the championship. And V, I rode this track yesterday. It's a banger. You've got to be proud of this one.
Yeah, it was a complete redesign. Normally we keep the juniors on the inside and the seniors on the outside, but the river is too deep. You know, the famous river that everybody knows over the last couple of years that we've been crossing through it's just too deep. But you can't believe how wet it is still out here. So we had to split the routes, basically have the seniors on the one side and the juniors on the other side. And so for most of the guys, it's going to look like a new track. It's in reverse from last year and some new sections that they've never have seen.
Morning session. Let's go down into the pits and chat to the peeps on the junior and the quad gates.
Blakey, Delmas, and the championship is still there. How are you feeling about this one?
I'm feeling good. I think I can get colours, but the season's going good.
We've done 2 races in Delmas so far. This is the third one. Do you like this area?
I do.
Yeah? You know this is going to be a little bit more jumpy and bumpy. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, it's very flat here.
JL, you've had a burner of the season. This is the third visit at Delmas, so you should have a good setup now.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. Last year we raced this one just for the season, and I got first place, but maybe it changed. But I think I'm gonna be confident and have a good start. Yeah.
Seems like gearings have become the talk word because these junior tracks have got fast. You're going to be swinging off the back, eh?
Yeah, I think this track's going to be fast and hard packed, so don't fool, yeah.
Brother, in your first full season on the GXCCs, you've been running good pace. Tell me how you're feeling coming into round 6.
It's nice. I like it. I put in hard work for this. Yeah, but we'll see what happens today. I think I can get the win.
Seems like a big deal. The Yamahas, the whole pits have gone blue, eh?
Yeah.
Tell me about the setup on your bike. Everyone's talking about they might go a bit softer for this one.
Yeah, I'm just running the normal one.
This is not a stock suspension track. I rode it yesterday. It's going to be rough. You're going to be bleeding.
Oh gosh, and I'm not looking forward to this. This is going to be horrible. Last season, I rode this one my first time, and it was definitely not nice on the blaster. So hopefully with the Altis it will be better, and so we'll see.
Well, at least you guys aren't going to go jet skiing. There's no river crosses this time.
Thank goodness. Yes, last time we were swimming, so hopefully this time. I'm not looking forward to the dust, but hopefully the wind can help us a bit, and then it will be a smooth ride. Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, DeSanti, here we are, Delmas for the third time, but this is going to be a different one. It's rough, dude.
I hope it's going to be a good one and not too rough on the hands. I hope everybody does well, nobody gets hurt, and we're back safe.
I can tell you right now, there is no deep river this time. You guys are good.
I'm glad about that. Yeah, at least the bikes don't drown or anything like that, and we're back safe.
We're round number 6 of our 8 round. Tell me how the season's gone so far.
So far, so good. I'm happy. Last race, I broke down. But today we're back again. We're going to try again.
Brother, you know Delmas, you need a whole shot. What do you got for us?
I don't know. Missed 2 races. Bike didn't do well. So, yeah, let's hope for the best. I just want to finish. That's all.
You took some time out there. Obviously, you went and got married. So are you feeling strong or are you feeling weak?
No, I'm strong. So hopefully the fitness work. We work on the wall shot. So hopefully we can throw dust on the guys behind us.
Down onto the gate then, and in the morning session, it would be the quads that would open things up on the 47-kilometer loop, and the 17K loop is what stood out, waiting for our junior racing riders. Flag drop of the day at round 6 of the GXCCs in 2025 was about to kick off an amazing day of racing. Q1s and some good numbers on the gate as well. The return of the EMD QCon Racing squad in powerhouse format. Marius Lombard got the cheese with Gnarly Carly Buerta after a year off, back on the gate in the number 2 spot. Wolfart, the whole shot superstar, had to settle for a number 3 this time out. In the Q2s, Rian Dick, Tinas Kutzer and Nathan Mayer would be the big swingers going out there to see if they could plow the field and catch up to all, if not every single one, of the Q1s. The Masters, Bernardo Vivas gets his fluky number going. A nice run out of the gate to give him the whole shot ahead of Karamba Jabi and Roxy DeSantos. And in the vets, Darby De Vet put on a bit of a display for us out here at the whole shot queue. A full 360 and still got the whole shot. He was feeling very, very good about that one. Sears Blicknut and Stock Standard doing the chase down. In the ladies, Liesel Simon, Celeste Berger, and championship points leader Danielle Esterhazen would give us the rollout for the quad gate. That was 47 kilometers and a 3-hour racing format that lay ahead for them. For our junior competitors, 2 hours and laps on the morning session on the 17-kilometer loop. The 107 to Keng Marahi, as always, so strong on the 107 out of the gates. Tuane Tiampons and Jay Eels. A bad start. He would have to come through. Got some good numbers going though, and got himself up early into the top 3. The machine, John-Luc van der Vesthuizen in the junior 85s. He's going up in the championship against Juan Agostini on the 202, and that would be the fight that we would keep an eye on. Pro 65s, all about Kellen van Deventer and Alexander Nemeth. And a very good late season run of form coming in for Ulrich Sturley as he would go out and do the chase from outside of the top 5. In the 50 pros, Blake is on a burner this season, but this time around, the championship points leader and Jack Peltzer were going to go bar to bar, elbows up, out on the morning session. Let's chat to Vian about what lay ahead. Grassland, grassland, grassland is the story for the juniors. Let's talk about the length and the style that you've given us.
Yeah, it's just over 16.5 kilometers for the juniors. You know, I know that the guys don't want to have high speed, but this place has got a lot of twists and turns in the grasslands. It's choppy after the rain. Wherever the cattle have been walking and their feet stomping holes in the ground, it's bumpy. So yeah, it's going to keep them busy. 1 or 2 fast sections that they go throughout through 2 pivot points, but the rest is going to keep them busy through the grasslands.
So let's go out and climb those ladders. First cheese is going to go to the 50cc Warriors. Big numbers coming in at the late part of the GXCC Championship. Remember this season we run an 8-round series with 1 round throwaway. So everyone at round number 6 was desperate for points. DJ Blum inside of the big numbers on number 8. Nathan Zavitsky also on a 3-lap account, as well as chasing onto the back wheel of Taylor DeVette. All 3 of those riders on a 3-lapper, and then everyone else was starting to get up onto the big numbers. MJ Skitter and Bernard Blicknote were locked in a nice battle early on, with Blicknote coming out on top, dropping MJ back down to a number 5. Blicknote, a very good runner in the championship as well, always placing inside of that magical top 6. A small fall over for Marty Vanderberg, but still 4 laps under the belt for the 225, and a very strong high finish into a number 3. Blake Kruger coming into this round of the championship points leader for Bikers Warehouse Husky. Still a good run of form. He stayed on the lead lap. Happy enough to take second place, happy enough to continue as championship leader heading to the final 2 rounds. But it was Jack Peltzer who got a burner going and took the win out at round number 6 on the 50s. On the 65 Pro Gate, Happy Maletiana got it into a number 8, with Lincoln Deister doing a lot of mid-season development on his machine on the J125 to get a number 7 ride going. Bolali Mafakati got the C110 into a top 6, and then the big swingers for the championship. Seb Nell, 6 laps under his belt. Very close run as well. The top 6 separated by just a few minutes. Nell into a number 5, Rogan Matthews into a number 4, and then very tight run inside of the top 3. These are the kids that are racing it out for the championship. Kellen van Deventer, a big growth spurt late on in the season, sees him as one of the big kids on the gate now as he takes the J252 into a number 3. Alexander Nemeth, one of the smaller riders out there and a whole shot superstar in his own right. 1 hour 57 minutes and a second spot, narrowly missing out on the win that did go to Ulrich Sturley. A modest gate outside of the top 5, but Sturley came good on laps 2, 3 and 4 to hammer the nail and take a very close run form. It's been interesting to understand how things are going to go in the junior 65s. Olweto Mobadiatsu got it done into a number 8 with Declan Richards following his wheel tracks into a number 7. Richards just happy enough to stay within sight of that magical top 6. Dylan Baldock climbed the ladder and got himself up into a number 6 ride this time around. The J121 putting together a nice championship run and a solid 1 hour 58 under his belt. Harvey Hine, the lighty of Big Hine, who would be out there racing in the afternoon race, squeaks his way inside of a number 5 with Julian van der Berg getting himself going. A sweet spot set up on the Yami into a number 4 with Lawrence Erasmus starting to make a name for himself on the gate as well. Big improvements on his form late on in the season. Jean-Luc van der Westhuizen was on a burner early on. Lap number 2, a big crash dropped him outside of the top 4 and he had to plow the field to get back into a number 2 spot to keep the championship alive. But it's Juan Agostini that once again hammers the nail on the C202 to take yet another GXCC win in the junior 85s. Senior 85s was going to be a wild ride because we're starting to see a lot of riders coming good late on in the season. Matakani was in a number 8. Ulrich Fourie running good early on, but dropping down outside of the lead lap late on to eventually drop down to a number 7. Katleko Satomi building form and pace throughout the season, tags a number 6, with Kanyani Masito improving throughout the year as well into a number 5. Twane Tiempont losing a bet and going out there with the checkers 50-50 overalls on into a number 4, riding out of Team Gravity Racing up the road from Ho with the Marahi brothers. Tamaka into a number 3. Tamaka starting to really improve on his form as well. Not too far off the back wheel of the famous 107, his brother, Takeng Marahi. So good on the gate. It was a 2-horse race for the win eventually. That win going to Ruat Potgieter on the Everest Wealth Racing Factory Yamaha. But Takeng Marahi with the number 2 spot is definitely one to watch out for in the championship. He's put together a very, very good season in 2025. But this time around, at round number 6, Potgieter was the dude.
Ja, my championship is like goed vir my. Die reis was baie lekker, baie rof. Ek het die river crossings gelike. En ja, hierdie is baie belangrik vir die championship. Dit het my punte laat bietjie opskuif. En ja, het gap gemaak tussen ek en Jean-Luc. So ja, my mom, my dad and everybody was watching and Nagola and Romanes, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. The sand, the dust was very hard, but yeah, I got the first, but yeah, it's fun. The season's been nice. There was a couple of races that was not nice for me, but yeah, we're doing good, yeah.
Nice chat from the kids. Let's go and check in on the results. Ruat Potgieter, confirmation of his win in the senior 85s. A big result there ahead of the Marahi bros. Tiempont, Masito, Satomi with Fourie and Matakani rounding things out. A very close run championship with just 2 rounds remaining to see who's going to be the champ in the senior 85s. Junior 85s, slightly easier conversation with Agostini hammering the nail on the field. Jean-Luc has the pace, but he needs some luck on his side as we go forward into the last couple of rounds. On the day, Jean-Luc beating out on Erasmus, van der Berg, Hine and Baldock with Richards down to a number 7. In the Pro 65s, Ulrich Sturley came good. Proves that you don't have to get the whole shot. He came through the pack from outside the top 6 to take the win ahead of Nemeth, Van Deventer, Matthews, Nel, Mafakati, Deister and Malatiana. And in the Pro 50s, Jack Peltzer got the win out here at round number 6, knocking Blake Kruger, the championship points leader, down to the number 2 spot. Kruger remains the championship leader heading into the final 2 rounds. On the day though, beating out on Van der Berg, Blicknote, Skitter, De Vet, Zavetsky and Bloom. Let's catch our breath and change gears as we look forward to the big quad track. For the quaddies in the morning session, this is going to be one they will remember. Lumpy, bumpy, and about 5 different styles of terrain.
Yeah, it's amazing how the soil changes. I mean, in one place you've got rock hard clay ground, other places it's sandy. Not a lot of sand, but varying terrain, ups and downs, elevation changes. It's going to be really interesting for the quaddies out there. 1 or 2 water splashes that they're going to go through, but nothing serious.
Same, but different. That is the story of the big track out here at Delmas. We've been out here now the 3rd visit to the Delmas area, but this is the original layout of the Delmas zone that we've been racing in. 1 or 2 little splashes, like Vion says, but nothing too gnarly. Championship points leader Danielle Esterhazen only got the 1 lap under her belt, so it's going to tighten things up for the ladies' gate as we go forward into the final 2 rounds, with Liesl Simon improving on the day to a number 2 spot, and the ever consistent Celeste Berger, the 2 EMD QCon racing ladies, hammering the nail with Berger back on top once again, looking like she's staring down the barrel of a big number 1 plate once again. Tony DeSantos, the championship points leader in quad vets, only having to do 1 lap, so he's going to lose some points on the day. Stock standard Darren Moyle was on a 3-lapper. CS Blicknote unleashed the big 4x4 into a number 2 position, but the big 360 off the gate didn't slow down Darby DeVet. In fact, looks like it improved his riding style. He was a happy chappy out there, the big guy out of QCon EMD getting his win going. Karamba Jarby had some issues on the day. A snapped throttle cable held him back. He managed to get 2 laps under his belt and keep his championship hopes alive. Bernardo Fivas, after an incredible hole shot, eventually dropping down to a number 4 position. Also, mechanicals holding him back. Steph Bester, who has been the rider to beat on the Quad Masters since his return early on in 2025, he had issues on the day and eventually had to settle for a number 3. The reason for that? The DeSanti. Fernando DeSantos and Roxy DeSantos coming good and getting a good pace going. Fernando DeSantos getting 2nd spot, only just beating Steph Bester by a handful of seconds, and Roxy DeSantos running off the front with a couple of minutes in hand. Roxy remains the dude on the Quad Masters gate. Q2's just 3 riders out there. Nathan Mayer, a no-show at the end of lap number 1, meaning it was a 2-horse race. Rian Dick versus Tinas Kutzer. This time around, Dick stayed on the lead lap, but would have to settle for the number 2 spot, taking a bath to the tune of 15 minutes off the back wheel of eventual race winner Tinas Kutzer. The big guy out of Megs Racing is on a burner this season. Big story in the Q1s. Championship points leader Francois Smallberger Sr. out after just 2 laps under his belt. So he's having a bit of a bogey run at the end of the season. That meant that Sean Kutzer, Wolfart, Lombard, Wolfart and Simon would be up the road, robbing valuable points from him. Sean Kutzer taking a number 5. Jaco Wolfart taking a number 4 ride. Normally the big hole shotter. This time the hole shot went to Marius Lombard, making his return to GXCC Racing and nabbing a number 3. He was happy with that. Tion Wolfart took the big KTM up to a number 2. That's one of his best rides of the season. He kept his nose nice and clean, and then it was the return of the queen of the quads, Gnarly Carly Simon. After a year out of the saddle, came back and took the win out here at round number 6 of the GXCCs. We chatted to her and Tinas after the race. Gnarly, pleasure to have you back, but this was pretty rough terrain. How did it go out there for you?
I should say this is an interesting track to come back to for first race. After not riding for a year, my last GXCC was at the last race from last year, so it was quite interesting.
So choppy is the word.
It was tough. My body's going to feel it in the morning, but I feel good.
What does it feel like to come back though? It's a good vibe here still, isn't it?
Listen, my heart rate was like 130 before we started, so the adrenaline was pumping, but I love the feeling.
T, apart from punches and dust, looked like a pretty clean run.
Oh, it was a really great race today. Yeah, lap 1, about halfway out a rear left puncher. Nursed it back home. Luckily came in first. I think it was Tian and Carly came in behind me. Quick change, back out, caught up with them, and then after that it was just opening up. Yeah.
Give me a breakdown of the track, because I rode it on the 2-wheelers, and sometimes I look and go, how do the quads do this?
Yes, look, I'm not going to lie. This is a gnarly track. It's almost like Lakoa Lodge, so it's tough on the body. It's rough. Luckily, the water crossings were not that deep, so it wasn't too bad. But other than that, it was great. A bit of dust, but thanks to the wind, it swept it away. And yeah, I can't complain. Everything was going well today.
Great reactions from our quad riders in the Q1s then. Gnarly Carly back in the top step ahead of Tion Wolfart and Marius Lombard making his comeback with a big number 3. Big story there with Smallberger down outside the big points. Tina Skutzer gets the win in Q2s to continue his dominance ahead of Rian Dick, with Meyer not completing lap number 1. Quad Masters, Roxa de Santos remains the dude to beat ahead of Fernando, Steph Bester, Vivas and Jarby. Davy de Vet, the big 360, gets the job done ahead of Sias Blicknote. Stock Standard down to a number 3, and Tony De Santos having issues down to a number 4. Celeste Berger robs points from championship points leader Esther Hazen, with Simon the meat in the sandwich. Esther Hazen in trouble in the championship now as we go forward to the final 2 rounds. Hold your breath as we head to VW Mastercars Hatfield before the afternoon race.
On number 42, looking for a great deal on a quality used cars? Welcome to Hatfield VW Mastercars. We have a variety of cars from buggies to hatchbacks. Every vehicle is checked for quality and performance, and we offer easy financing budget for everybody. Visit us today at Hatfield VW Mastercars Pretoria and drive home with your next car for less.
For the afternoon race then, the big story would be great numbers on the page and everyone breaking out the calculators to understand what they need to do to stay in the championship hunt as we hit round number 6.
The last weekend, sick as a dog. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, no, at least I sound a bit normal now. I'm still a bit under the weather, but I'm just, hopefully I can push through and finish the race. Yeah.
Since we've been here, you can feel the wind is coming up and up and up. That's good and bad in equal measure, hey?
Yeah, I mean, it's good because if you're behind someone, the dust hopefully will blow away, but also could blow into you, could keep the dust in front of you. So, well, hopefully it stays cool. I want the wind to keep us cool today.
Talking to me about the championship, it's been pretty wild. Gabby Fotheringham, yourself and Twane gets busy.
Yeah, no, after my last race, we're close on points now, so I just got to push hard and try to finish it before them, but it's been a tight championship so far, but it's been good. It's been fun to race against them.
Kochi, you seem to have got rid of all your mechanicals nice and early in the season. You should be in good shape for this one.
Yeah, it looks so far so good. 1, 2 and 3 we had some mechanicals, 4 we had a crash. So yeah, we've been doing some work on the knee and the back. But yeah, we should be back in action today. The last time out we had a really good race, so if we can just continue that form, that momentum through this one, then yeah, it looks like it could still get exciting at the end of the season.
Yeah, you and Bew, hey? You and Bew.
Me and Bew, and I see between Bew, Yanni's back on the gate as well, so this is going to be a humdinger as usual. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun as long as we can all be safe out there, have a good race, come back and tell everybody the war tales.
Every time I say it's a choppy track, you always smile, so you've got a good setup on this thing.
Yeah, no, this me and the chop, the yummies work so well in that, so I think it's going to be a good day out. Kind of understand the terrain here quite well, so yeah, the setup should be good. Should be a breeze for us.
John, up and down season, hey? What have you got for us today?
Yeah, it's been a rough season, a rough last week. Yesterday afternoon, testing the bike. Unfortunately, something went wrong. She had to borrow this bike, so it's a bike I don't know. We're going to see how it goes today.
Tell me about that seniors gate. You've seen Bew, he's been coming on strong this year, eh?
Bew's strong. Marco is fast when he don't have any problems, so it's going to be fun. I just have to finish to get some good points, that's all.
Murray man, round number 6, wild championship so far, hey?
Yeah, leading so far, about 14 points or so ahead. Good halfway through the season, just over. And yeah, hoping to have a good race, get the horse shot, and hopefully come out with a win.
Third time out in Delmas, so everyone should know how to set up their bikes now, hey?
Yeah, the last 2 races at Delmas have been very fast, very high speeds, couple corners here and there, but still very, very high average speeds throughout the lap.
Grassland racing, got some good setup for that?
Yeah, we do it a lot in KZN. I'm really used to it. The bike setup is used to it, and I'm ready.
Brother, this has been a great season for you. Try and sum up how you're feeling coming into round number 6.
No, I'm excited. Just gonna get a better start, keeping it comfortable out there, and just hoping for the best.
1 or 2 little crashes, but you seem to have kind of shaken those off nicely.
Yeah, I bring the crashes down a lot. but just gonna try to not crash and keep on two wheels.
We've seen the dust from the quads, you know it has to be a good gate.
Yeah, start is everything on this race. The start is everything.
Triggers, took a while this season, but it looks like you found your groove, eh?
Yeah, this year has been lekker. The last race I did good, I got second place. I'm excited about today. I think the track is going to be very dusty. Yeah, we're going to make the best out of it and just go for it.
Choppy, hard terrain, I think strength is going to be key, eh?
Yeah, I think my fitness is going to play a big role in this race. Yeah, I'm just going to try and keep a steady pace and yeah, try and finish.
Tell me about the dynamic in the team. Things look like they're going well out here at Mex.
Yeah, the team it's a very good team. The whole team is in a podium spot on the championship. Yeah, this team is very great. Couldn't have done the year without them.
Nate Dog, been a while and maybe a little bit rusty. How are you feeling coming into this one?
Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad. Been training for it. Got the suspension nicely set up. Hopefully the sprocketing's good for this track, but other than that, hopefully it's going to be a good day.
Obviously you're using the second half of the season because, you know, you started out this year and went straight out the front door.
Yeah, I started this year with a crash. Not the best way to start a year, but at least I'm back now and I'm feeling ready for it.
Peter, we know you're not racing, but obviously you're here with the UB guys and looking after Putty. What do you think we've got at this terrain? Because this is tough terrain, this one.
Yeah, I think it's tough, but also it's super lekker. Grasslands, yeah, fast flowy corners, the way I like it, so I wish I was racing, but yeah, here for Derek and gonna stand outside with the Shambach and give him a few hits if he's not up to standard, but yeah, otherwise good out here supporting everyone, and I think it's gonna be an awesome day.
Johnny, round 6 back at Delmas. Been a fun year, eh?
Yeah, it's been a fun year so far. Got back from my injury and I'm happy so far, and I enjoy this track, so I think it's going to be a good day and my bike's set up well, so I'm happy.
And we're not going jet ski racing today?
Luckily not. It's been wet the past few races, and I see there's 1 or 2 river crossings, but they don't look too bad.
Tell me about the championship. That gate has been interesting this year, eh?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Lots of riders coming and going. There's still a chance to win it, I guess. If someone slips up maybe, or we'll see. We'll wait for it to play out.
Just review the last round for me, because you seem to come to life at that last one.
Yeah, I strapped my ankle up and got out there and just kept Scott behind me. Everything flowed well, so it was a good race.
Matty, burner of a season and a long one as well. This is round 6. Feels like we've been racing for ages.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I won't lie. I'm glad GXCC added a few more extra rounds. So yeah, it's made the championship fun and interesting, and it's always good to go racing.
Talk about last time when you and your teammates were out there boxing hard, eh?
Yeah, last Delmas race, I caught up to Scotty there. We had a few troubles at that race. So yeah, we had a good race for about 2 laps, and then yeah, hopefully today we can do something similar, try and catch up again.
This is a version of the classic Delmas as well, so there's a lot of areas everyone will know, but what it is baked rock hard. It's going to be a hard race.
Yeah, this Delmas, I want to finish today. That's my main goal. I haven't had the best of luck at this place, so yeah, I think if we can get a good start. Peter's not here today, which I'm a bit bummed about, so he would have been good to race here, but yeah, if I can just get a good start, try and stay out of as much dust as possible, see the rocks and just try to have a clean race, should be good.
Well, Matty, I wasn't there last time around, but now I can say congrats, and I hope you can get another one for us.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Last time out was a good time. Mark was on it, so yeah, looking forward to round 6 here in Delmas. Obviously, we've raced in this area before, so kind of know the terrain. So looking forward to today. Hopefully, we can get off to a good start, put ourselves in a good position, and capitalise and hopefully get that P1 again.
Insta's telling me that you're out at Broncos Spruit, obviously working on your hard-packed terrain setup.
Yes, yeah. So we've been working hard. The team's been putting in a lot of effort as well, so very happy with everyone and how things have been coming together. Obviously at the last national we had a bit of a mechanical, but that happens, and we're back now, we're stronger, and looking forward to today. I think it's going to be a good one.
How much was the winner boost? I mean, you've got that sparkle in your eye today.
Yeah, no, for sure, it was good. It took longer than anticipated, but when it did come, obviously it was pretty sweet. So got the sparkle in the eye, got a pep in my step as well. So yeah, hopefully today we can pull it off.
Scotty H, here we go again.
Yeah, no, I know we're nearing towards the end of the season, which is really cool. Round 6 with 2 rounds to go, and yeah, no, I've so far been having a really good season, having lots of fun. GXCCs have always been cool, and yeah, Vian and his team always put on really good tracks. And I know this one should be, I think he said like 75 to 80% complete new track, a lot of grassland, which is really cool. We ride a lot of grass back home. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today, and yeah, just have some fun, put in some good laps and stay out the dust, and ultimately just enjoy riding a bike.
Nice to have Big Kev back as well.
Yeah, no, it's really good to have Kev back. He's still hobbling along, but you know, he says it only hurts when the bone shows. So when you got someone like him in your corner, you know, you can't really wimp out of anything. So yeah, but yeah, ultimately can't thank the whole Brother Leader Trade KTM team enough for everything they do, especially Kev for coming out here. Just everyone in the pits, to the Wilson family and everything they do is really cool, and just everyone that helps out. So yeah, look forward to just having a good day, and yeah.
Vibe on the gate for sure. Milan starting to build pace in the championship on the 98 Yami on the Pro 1 gate. Haygate remains the dude to beat in the championship, but he has shown cracks at the last couple of rounds. Pro 1 gate this time around, we had some big swingers. Milan was there, Ferrix, the multiple motocross and supermoto champion was there, Devastator, and the Cowies were in good nick as well. Pro 2s, Wilson, Xander King, one of his best gates of the season, gets the Line-X Yami up the road into a number 2 spot onto the wheel tracks of Wilson with Sidi Huissen, Ben Stratham and Gav Young doing the chase down. OR3's not as Robbie. Bester, Tyron Beverly was back with a bang, and Eric Merry back onto the 250. High School 125s, Drickus van der Merwe, Franco Ferry, Murray Mann and Dylan Besadenhout, the big swingers. A problem early on the start gate though for Besadenhout, who would have to do the big fight back through the field. Onto the pro seniors, Kochi, Hugh Levy, John Vilkin and Yanni Podkita. On the championship, it's leaning the way of Kochi at the moment as he builds momentum into the final couple of rounds. The Masters, once again, Farmer gets the job done. JJ Rousseau strong off the gate with Peter Hall and Warwick Van Skalkbeek. A bad start, he would have to plough the field. On the veterans category, it has been the Lars Brandlin show. It remains that. But this time we've got Marty Poole joining the big show with Johan Fourie and Jeremy Smith doing the chasing. OR1 Pro Amps, Quarter Pounder gets his whole shot cheese going once again, trying to get his hands back onto the championship points lead, but Keon Hall was in on the big smoker. OR2 Pro Amps, Jaco Nordia and Ruby Roo Stratham. That is the fight for the championship this time around. It was going to be wild to see who was going to get it done, because Dwayne Leslie was in the mix as well. OR3 Pro-Am, Xander Myberg was there. Janko van der Kerk, Hansi van der Berg, Tristan Schana and Leonard van der Berg would be the big swingers to try and understand who was going to get it done. Richard Hine is the dude to beat on the senior Pro-Am gate himself. Gerard Fuster, Big Chris Homser and Dean Widdup going out there banging bars once again. In the OR4s, Ben Van Skalkbeek, Joubert van der Kerk and Chris Homser Jr. were out there with elbows high and raised, looking forward to see what the track had laid out for them. And for the ladies, Gabby Fotheringham for the Megs Racing Squad got wild and loose. She was at the back of the pack after a big crash, leaving Twane Tiempont, Bianca Edwards and Bianca Prout-Jones to get the job done. Before the ladders, let's chat to V.
Afternoon event, the motorcycles, and this is where the championships are going to get gnarly and wild. This is round 6 of an 8-round championship, and this is going to be a big track for the bikes. Hopefully the quads flatten things down in the morning. V, tell me about the kilometers and what we're looking like.
Yeah, Matt, the senior track is roughly 47.5 kilometers. So we want to try and get to that 50, but because we had to do a lot of changes, we got to 47.5. Bumpy, as you said, bumpy. Yeah. I think the quads will flatten out some of it, but in some places it's going to be really bumpy and hard. But you know, also some lacquer fast sections, flowing sections, a lot of grass sections, sweeping turns. I think you know, when you look at what we have that we can work with here, it's a lot of varying terrain and setup that the Oaks are going to find themselves in.
Variety is the call of the day. It's going to be a fantastic day out at GXCC, round number 6.
Let's head out there into dusty Delmas. The wind picked up, but thankfully it stayed pretty cool for all involved. Jans Muir only got one lap under her belt. Twane Tiempont had issues on the day, and that's a big story as well because she is in the running for the championship. Only 2 laps for her. Megan Duplessis, the little legs, battled at some of the river crossings. She still managed to get a number 6 on the cards. Janke van der Berg was up there, and Gabby Fotheringham did a massive fight back to get the 309 Megs Racing Shimwell's Yamaha up to a number 4. She will now also improve in her championship challenge. Bianca Prout-Jones was up there into a number 3 spot, and the comeback ride of the season at the moment is in the hands of Zaria Farid. She's on an absolute ripper as she swings a leg back onto the Yami and gets the job done. At this round though, it was a nice fight back in the championship for Bianca Edwards after a big crash at round number 5. She had a fresh, brand new helmet, and she got the win once again. That should see her back in the championship points lead. For the OR4s, Alexander Dillman only got 1 lap under his belt, but that was a good run for him. Bryson Deister, 2 laps for him. Some issues on the 158. And then Jake the Snake Pretorius, also problems for Jake. Surprising as well, never outside of the top 3. So Jake the Snake is going to have to take a bath and throw away the number 4 ride, because we saw some of the youngsters starting to get tasty out here. Joubert Van Niekerk improves on the Roost KTM up to number 3. 4 laps under his belt, and around about a minute up the road from him on the best ride of the season we have seen coming out of the VW Mastercars Junior, Chris Harmser Jr. Harmser hammers the nail out of Delmas with the number 2, starting to look very tasty and a big championship threat for next year. Ben van Schalkwyk is the dude at the moment who's starting to build pace and look incredibly powerful as we head to the final 2 rounds of the season. He takes his win. Senior Pro-Ams, Obi de Meyer, 3 laps under his belt and a number 8 ride. He'll be pretty happy with that one. Abraham Kurabali also got 3 laps under his belt, 2 hours 48. Conditions were good. This is probably the best laid out track of the Delmas era that we have ever had. Great to see Hendrik Buerta joining the party as well on the C94. That was outside of the magical top 5. Inside the top 5, the big swingers for the championship. Big Chris Harmser Sr. broke out the big 5 honey this time around and stretched the legs. Got himself into a number 5. Peter Peltzer was just up the road from him. Very close times inside of the top 5. Peltzer just a couple of minutes up the road from Big Chris to tag a number 4. Dean Woodup, Foster and Hine are the big swingers that are chasing the championships this time around. Woodup, 3 hours 19 under his belt. Gerard Foster also stayed on the lead lap, getting 4 laps going. A big threat in the championship now, Foster, as he comes good in the second half of the season. So many times he has been the man to beat, but on this track, Richard Hine seems to really revel, pulling over 6 minutes out of his closest rival. Hine remains the dude on the Senior Pro-Ams. OR3 Pro-Ams then, and the guys that came out of the Rookie Development Series. Tristan Schonner gets a number 4 ride going with 2 laps under his belt. The Vanderbergs were out in force. Leonard Vanderberg getting a number 3 ride, and up the road, Hansi Vanderberg into a number 2. Hansi Vanderberg, big improvements on the season. And the 771 will say that this was his best ride of the tour so far. Janko Van Niekerk for the Gravel Pit Racing Squad took almost 7 minutes out of his closest rivals to take his big win out here at round number 6. OR2 Pro-Ams, Dwayne Leslie got a sneaky hole shot there, but eventually would drop down into a number 6, just out horsepowered on the big track by the big 4 strokes. Russ Van Gool into a number 5. He's definitely going to be tagging a top 6 come the end of the season, even with a small little whiskey throttle fall over outside of one of the rivers up the road from him. Riding out of UB Leisure on the big KTM, Mark Stratum. Bit of a silent destroyer is Stratum. Improves on his riding to get a number 4 going. And then Ruby Roo, the man that came into this at championship points leader, the C2, dropping down to a uncustomary low 3rd place finish. Up the road, Nathan Godrich. Since he's made that move across back onto the 4-stroke, he has been one of the big dogs. 2nd place here, and very close to the back wheel of Jaco Nordia, who, by my maths, will take back the championship points lead as we head to the final 2 rounds. Big bangers, OR1 Pro-Ams. Great story here where Kenneth Clennams took the old Yami up to a number 8 ride. Ben Vessels, the championship points leader, had problems on the day, dropping down to a number 7. Xander Myberg looked like he was on a good ripper as well, as he took the 331 up to a number 6. Big Stefan Labuskakny on the big Husky got himself up to a number 5 for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad. He'd have hoped for higher, but he still stays inside that magical top 6 for the championship. Graham Engelbrecht, historically a Honda rider, back onto a Y Zinger this time around. could go no higher than a number 4, but it was Nathan Minnie who takes the big 5 honey. The privateer climbs the ladder to take his highest ever GXCC finish and get himself up into the big numbers. Third place, his best ever run out at the GXCCs in 2025. Quarter pounder, Francois Smallberger Jr. He'd have been hoping for the big win. Second place will feel like a win though, as he hammers a nail on his championship rivals. But on the day, it was Gian Hall, the big guy, who took the 300 smoker, had that thing singing all day long, and tags a big win out at round number 6. That was a huge story. Don't often see those 300 smokers taking the big overalls on the gates. Let's confirm as we go through our championships then. On the day, at round number 6 of the GXCCs, Gian Hall takes the win over Smallberger. Minnie, his best ride out of the GXCCs, ahead of Engelbrecht, Labuskakny, Myberg, Vessels, and Kleinams. The championship is tightening up in the OR2 Pro-Ams, where we're starting to see a little bit of advantage swinging the way of Jaco Nordia. Godrich is robbing valuable points off Ruby Roo Stratum in third place, and then it was Mark Stratum, Van Gool, Leslie, and Van der Merwe taking us to the magical top 7. OR3 Pro-Ams sees Janko Vannie Kirk getting it done. 4 laps under his belt and respectable lap times coming in from our Pro-Am riders. Hansie van der Berg takes the number 2 spot. And senior Pro-Ams, Richard Hine gets his domination back on the top step of the Pro-Ams, with Foster close in second. Woodop, Peltzer, Harmser, Buerta, Kurabali, and De Meyer. That championship is going to be a nail-biter in the next couple of rounds. OR4 sees Ben van Skalkwyk start to climb to the top of the charts. Chris Harmser Jr. also improves on his championship challenge, with Joubert Vannie Kirk in third. Big story of the day was championship leader Jake the Snake Pretorius on the Cowie, down in fourth ahead of Deister and Dillman. For the ladies, Bianca Edwards back on the top step ahead of Zaria Faree, Prout Jones, and Fotheringham. Big story of this day on the ladies was Twane Tiempont, all the way down in 7th. That's going to move and shake the championship points heading to the final couple of rounds. Next up, we change gears and move forward into our age group category races, starting things out with the veteran men. For the veterans, the big story has been everyone chasing down onto the back wheel of Lars Brandlin. Marty Poole, we haven't seen the Shimwell's Yamaha 450 too often. He had some issues on the day and only got 2 laps under his belt to tag a number 6 ride. Jakes Muir was up there into a number 5 with Dick Bessinger, sliding the back end of the machine around into a number 4. He was locked in that dice with Muir, so Bessinger and Muir were all over each other in the early laps, all staying on the lead lap as well. Eventually Bessinger would go forward and tag that number 4. Up the road with the big swingers in the championship though, Johan Faree, probably his best ride of the season and the biggest smile on his dial when he walked away with the 3rd spot. Jeremy Smith improves on his riding style as well, take the Yamaha Smoker. A surprise result to see one of the smaller bikes out there getting a 2nd place ride, and Lars Brandlin continues to dominate on the Alfie Cox KTM to take yet another win. For the Masters category, a couple of new names and faces coming in late on in the season. Jason Fraser was on the box to a number 8 with Francois Bosch down to a number 7, and Conrad Sieber trying to be once again the top red machine Honda up to a number 6. One of the consistent riders on the tour, Francois Swanepoel for the Roos KTM squad, had a low day by his high standards into a number 5. JJ Rousseau, who showed great consistent form in the early part of the season and a good gait, dropping himself down to a number 4. Peter Hull had some issues early on, but would come through the traffic to get himself onto the big dice for the top 3. As always, Hull, Farmer, and Van Skalkwyk within sight of each other throughout the day's event. At the end of the day, though, Farmer and Van Skalkwyk found each other late on in the race. Hull would drop down to a number 3, Farmer dropping down to a number 2, as Van Skalkwyk improved throughout his entire day to find turbo late on in the final laps and run off the front. Hull, Farmer, and Van Skalkwyk, as always, putting on an incredible dice and show for us out here in the Masters. But it would be the Everest Wealth Yamaha of Van Skalkwyk, who's looking trim, lean, and tasty as we close in on the end of the championship. He took his win. Senior pros, Yanni Potgieter, who looked like a big threat for a podium coming into this round, had problems on lap number 2 and would bow out down to a number 7 finish. Fergie Mack also had some issues only getting 3 laps under his belt to a number 6 with Sean Badenhorst injuring his knee and would have to tough things out to limp home to a number 5. Henny Blicknote put down the adventure helmet, broke out a freshie for this one to get a number 4 ride going. Hugh Levy, who has switched legions from his trusty old Honda and got a fresh Yami, still working on the setup of that bike, but good enough for a number 3 ride. Kochi, so close to the big win this time around, eventually got hunted down and the pass was pulled late on in the race. But Marco Kochi still in good nick for the championship, and Jean Vulcan had some problems in shakedown for his machine. Chris Kruger stepped off his bike, lent his machine to his teammate, and it worked out because that was a win for Vulcan. In the high school gate, Nico Malasani stayed on the lead lap. This high school gate is incredible when you see the top 10 riders able to run within minutes of each other. Oke Henop had some problems out there, but still did a good push to get a number 7 ride going. Peter Colleen starting to find his groove once again on the Line X Yamaha to a number 6 ride. He'll need to push on hard if he wants to break that top 6 come the end of the season, as we close in on the end of the championship challenge. Liam Skippers, the original mullet man in his first full season on the high school 125 gate, starting to find his form once again as he improves to a number 5 ride. Huge story in the early part of the day was Drickus van der Merwe and Dylan Besadenhout fighting it out with Skippers to try and understand who was going to run clear air and run the numbers. Besadenhout, once again for the Megs Racing Powerhouse squad, did a great fight back, comeback ride to get himself up inside of that magical top 4 after some problems early on the start chute. If he can have a great start, he can run and hide, but Besadenhout will be happy to get his machine up to a number 4. Himself and Drickus van der Merwe very close and evenly matched in the early stages of the race until we started to see a bit of rhythm forming. Franco Free on the UB Leisure KTM got himself up to a number 3 spot on a 3-hour flat racing format. A minute and a half ahead of him was Drickus van der Merwe, who is looking very good now in the late stages of the high school gate. But Murray Smith on the UB Leisure Factory Yamaha takes yet another win. We chatted to him after the race.
Murray Man, while the guys are tearing down the pits, let's tear down your day. Good day?
Yeah, very good day. Came out with a win. I couldn't really ask for more, and I couldn't have done it without my dad, Uncle Harry, Yamaha Racing South Africa, and all the other sponsors as well. They were really a big help in getting me to this point in my career.
You know, I've been talking about that 125 gate all year long. It's tight. You guys are always on the same 5 minutes. There's about 5 of you on a 5-minute window.
Yeah, it's very close, especially recently, especially at the National as well. It was very close between a few of us, and it's getting intense towards the end of the season.
Drickus, second place today must feel like a win because you found that sweet spot once again.
Yeah, today was very fun. I got out of the whole shot second place. I dropped a few places, but kept a steady pace. At the end, I picked up my pace, got the second in the class, and yeah, the track was very rough. It got very rough to the end. The dust was bad, but at least there was wind to blow the dust away. Yeah, my bike was perfect. The setup on my bike was perfect. The bike was strong. The suspension setup was perfect. Yeah, that's a big thanks to Showmiles Yamaha for the setup on the bike, and also a big thanks to the Megs Racing team with the fast refueling and yeah.
Jean, wrapping up shop here at round number 6. You needed some points on the plate. You took a win. That's good points and numbers for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it was a good one. And just want to say a big thank you to Chris Kruger for lending me his bike. My bike broke yesterday afternoon, unfortunately, but I pulled a cat out of that and I won the race, and I'm very happy with that.
How's the body feeling? You've had a lot of injuries to work through this season.
Yeah, no, that's through my hand. I heard it on the second lap. I felt it in the last lap. You'll see my lap times, it went down like crazy. But yeah, I just finished.
Warwick, an insane journey for you. It looked like you were going to have that big dice with Peter Hull, which you always look forward to, and Farmer, but they fell out. You ran forward.
Yeah, Matt, it was from the start, I started like a nightmare again. I stalled the bike right in the start, so I was stone lost. And on the first lap, I actually caught them all up. I passed everybody on the first lap. I came into the pits leading. I think it was the guys in front with the dust. Okay, in certain places the dust was hectic. And we went out on the second lap, and I thought I was cruising, but Peter Hall came cruising past. And I hung behind him, and the dust also caught him out as well, and I passed him back again, and that was it. I had a lekker ride. That yummy, it runs like a dream. The suspension that I got on there, the tyres, the Dunlop tyres, the bike ran lekker. I fell on the last lap. I saw my millie on the last lap, big time. I hit a rock, I don't know, I got spectacles on the inside of my goggles, and they hooked out. So, yeah, it was lekker. But I finished, I won. It's about time on the GXCCs that I won. Peter Hall's been giving me a hard time. He's really quick, and Wayne's getting fitter and stronger as well. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. We're going to have a lekker dice.
Lekker dice indeed. Let's talk about the results then to break things down from round number 6. Murray Man back on top ahead of Drukkus van der Merwe, Fourie, Besaidnout and Skippers with Colleen, Hennep and Malitsani. It does look like everyone's chasing the wheel tracks of Smitty at the moment though. Senior pros, Jean Vulcan remains the championship runner at the moment. After a bad throwaway from the previous event, Kochi is looking odds on to be his closest rival, along with Levy, Blicknote and Badenhorst. Problems for Potgieter and McAdam see them down in a 6 and 7. For the Masters Gate, the magical 3, Van Skalkwyk, Farmer and Hall. That will be the championship for the rest of the season, with Rousseau, Swanepoel, Sieber, Bosch and Fraser chasing the wheel tracks to see who's going to get a 4, 5 and 6. And in the veterans, it is all eyes on Lars Brandlin, as he's got enough points in hand to potentially wrap up the championship at round number 7. On the day, he beat Smitty, Fourie, Bessinger, Muir, Poole and Nell. But it's the Lars Brandlin show as he runs off the front. Change of gears now as we swing off the back in 7th gear, wide open. It's the pros. Before we climb the ladders though, drama on lap number 1 for the comeback kid, Tyron Beverly. A rough return to the gate.
Ty, bang a start, and then what? You tell me the story.
Yeah, we got off to the perfect start. I did everything right, and unfortunately a small mechanical about 3/4 way around let us down today. It's a bit upsetting because it would have been so cool to win my first race back. But these things happen, and we'll be back at the next one and hopefully pick up where we left off today.
You said you were loving the track though, eh?
Yeah, the track was awesome today. Fresh terrain for a change. Nice and actually quite wet for winter, so no dust. It was just absolutely perfect out there.
Commiserations to Ty Beverly. We'll see him on the gate at rounds 7 and 8. For now though, let's get back out onto the course in the OR3 Pros, where Nodis Robbie, who pulled the cheese out there in the early gate, would eventually have problems on his machine and drop back to a number 8 with just 1 lap under his belt. Estienne Kutzer, who has been running inside the top 6 most of the season, drops out of that 1 position to a number 7, where Jean-Dre Vermark is finding consistent improvements out there on the Everest Wealth machine to a number 6. Last ride out, Hanyu de Kock was on the Pro-Am gate, decides to gate out of the Pros this time around, and the Brits Honda rider hits his best ever result, taking down a number 5. Up the road from him, a former Honda rider, now on the Husqvarna 250, Eric Merry, looked much more comfortable on the little machine this time around. He was joined on the track by another comeback kid after going down in a blaze of glory at round number 1, Nathan Westerdale. For the Roost KTM squad was back with us and banging on the 711. The KZN kid takes a number 3 ride on the day. Westerdale could have been a championship runner, but now he's using the late part of the season to just do some development on his machine. The top 2 runners on the day, separated by just minutes. UB Leisure KTM's Derek Karam on the 539, looking good in the championship. But the championship points leader and the man who is tough to beat once again was Curvis Bester, running high in the overalls. Eye-wateringly fast speeds on the 250. In the OR2 Pros, Stoffel Berger chasing onto the wheel tracks of Divan Wolfart. That was a great dice for the 7 and 8. Another KZN traveller was Timmy Black. Got himself up there into a number 5, but Benru Stratum, who's looking to try and climb up into that magical top 6 himself, and Gav Young were all over each other. Eventually it was Benru Stratum in a number 6, Timmy Black into a number 5, and the Shimwell's Fantic 310 of Gav Young. Even though he said couldn't find his groove on the day. The points tell a different story. 4th place keeps him very much in the hunt. A massive breakout ride for CD Goosen, a former 2-time quad racing GXCC champion, has really figured things out on 2 wheels as he walks away with a 3rd spot. And Xander King, last minute repairs on the Line X Yamaha get him onto the gate, and he walks away with a number 2 spot in the whole shot and a number 2 on the day, keeps him 2nd place in the championship. But there's no fighting against the Thunder. That is Matty Wilson, who just dominated once again. OR1 Pro Big Bangers, Ethan van Rensburg, crossing things over from the motocross world, walks away with a number 8. Rudy Vieira and Keaton Fencer were having a great dice to see who was going to walk away with a number 6 on the day. That's a 5 Honey KTM versus a 250 Yummy Smoker. Eventually, Rooster won that war, walking away with a number 6 ride, beating out on Keaton Fencer. Up the road, inside the magical top 5, first of those was Ruan Merry. Powerhouse rider who has been inside that magical top 5 almost the whole way through the season, super consistent, and the last of the riders that was on a 4-lap account. Great to see some new names and numbers coming in though. Keaton Fencer getting looked after by the Line X Yamaha boys. Rooster getting looked after by Dad and the Talent. And Mary looked after by the Bikers Warehouse factory squad. The Cowie boys were working well together in the early stages, where the rockstar Björn Wenzel walked away with a number 4. He was in a great dice with Devastator until he dropped out of the event. JC Nienober, former 2-time GXCC champion, rocked his way to a number 3. And then a breakout ride for G-Man, the original 101, Grant Ferrix. He's been trying to see the checkers at a GXCC for a couple of seasons now, and he walks away with a 2 spot on the Pro 1 gate. A massive ride for him on the UB Leisure KTM. But it's Matty Milan who now goes 1 for 1, winning out at rounds 5 and 6 on the bounce. The Everest Wealth Yamaha man on a ripper now as we close in on the end of the season.
Matty, you got those wild eyes in. You had that big smile on this morning. The focus was there all day.
Yeah, the focus has been there for a while now. We've been working hard. I was looking forward to battling Scotty today. Unfortunately, he had a bit of a mechanical, I think 5Ks in or something like that. But yeah, man, I felt good today. I felt strong. Bike was good. I felt really, really good today. And we've been working hard, and it shows. So I'm really, really happy with my riding at the moment. Really happy with the bike, happy with the team, and stoked to get another one. That's 2 in a row now. Hopefully we can keep this momentum rolling into the next national and get that win.
Break down the track if you can, because I know your eyes are still hanging out. There's some wild sections there.
Bro, that track was honestly, it was so much fun. Björn and the crew did an amazing job. A little bit slow in the beginning, then a nice fast sections in the middle, and then nice tight and technical. Honestly, track was really, really fun. It was a track where if you just rode nice and smooth, you could be really fast. But yeah, it wasn't anything hectic. It was really, really fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was a really cool race. So thanks to the people at the GXCC, Björn, Mirinda, to everyone. Yeah, stoked, man. Let's keep this momentum rolling.
G-Man, the original 101. I know you can swing your leg over anything and hang off the back, but this was a wild day for you.
Yeah, I had to come back and try to get a bit of redemption. I had a big mouth saying I was going to be safe the last time, and it ended up on my pip. So yeah, it was a good day out. I mean, I had a good start, and then I wasn't so comfortable the first lap at all. On pump was a real thing. So I let a couple of guys go past as they caught me, and then I started catching my rhythm. My arms came back, and then I started pushing, and it was lekker. Up until halfway through the last lap, I had a big off. Rang my ball a bit, broke some stuff on the bike, hurt my shoulder. But it was lekker. JC handing me the whole last lap. Every time I looked back, he was a little bit closer. There was nothing really I could do. I was going as fast as I could, or as fast as I was willing to go. But it was lekker. Awesome day out.
Banger ride, great result, but also you saw the checkers at a GXCC.
Yeah, for once. I think it was my third time giving it a go, third time lucky. So I'm a winner today. I came back in one piece. I can go home to my family, and I had a lot of fun.
Scotty H stood at the finish, but not on the bike. Tell me about your day.
Yeah, got off to a fairly good start, came out the maze in third, made a quick pass on Grant Ferrix and moved into second just behind Maddie, and was in a really nice flow, felt really strong. And then just a bit of a weird one. I had a bit of a mechanical on my tires, and we're going to look at that and see what happened exactly. But ultimately I'm healthy, I'm grateful, and from the parts of the track that I did get to ride, I can't give it up enough to Vian and his team. They put in tremendous effort to put up these tracks for us. So to them, big thank you, and just a whole big thank you to the whole Brother Leader Trade KTM team. for everything they do, for bringing me out, to Kev and just everyone in my corner. I do appreciate it, and we'll go back to the drawing board and be back at round 7 and hopefully fight for that top step.
Matty, wild day as always out of the GXCCs. Happy with the result?
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. I mean, on my class, I got the whole shot at the start gate. I picked through the guys in the 450 class during out the day. So, no, it was a good day for me. First in class, second overall. Stoked to come away uninjured. So, yeah, no, I'm happy with today.
Most guys are coming back and saying they had 1 or 7 moments. How many did you have?
I had a couple of moments myself. Grant's now on that second lap, we were dicing like you can see he's a motocross rider. So, yeah, we were getting all loose and squirrely. So, yeah, we had a few close calls there together, but I had fun. It was a good draw, that battle.
And Delmas, the curse is lifted?
For this year, looks like it. three in a row. I'm happy to be back unscathed. So, yeah, no, thank you.
Zans, a stressful week building up to this one, but second place must feel like a rock and roller.
Yes, this is fantastic. I must say, last night it was like touch and go, not knowing. But, yeah, just got a freaking awesome start. I felt super and chased Matty quite or down, I think, to like the third corner, and then he disappeared. But, yeah, just keeping my nose clean in front. But it was super tough. Yes, I must say it was hard work today. You know, I think we're going to feel the back tomorrow a bit. But no, the bike did awesome. I just want to thank Linex Blue Crew Yamaha. They did a stellar job. 32 GI, bike-wise, all the sponsors that just gets us here. Without them, this second place ain't possible.
And then number 2 in the championship is still within sight.
Yes, yeah, I must say, like I said, a bit of lady luck. It does help, definitely. So I think for the rest of the season, just like finish at least every race. Hopefully we can pull it through. So yeah, getting quite excited.
3/4 marker of the season done and dusted. 2 rounds to go. This is what went down out here at Delmas. Milan beating out on Ferrix. Huge ride for Ferrix to win out ahead of Ninoba Wenzel, Mary and Vieira. Huge story on the day in the OR1 Pros. Scotty H has to throw it away after not completing lap number 1. Matty Wilson into the win once again, hammering the nail on the field, but Xander King is looking odds on for that big number 2 spot as he wins out ahead of Goosen, Young, Black, Straden, Wolfart and Berger. And in the OR3 Pros, it's the Kerber's best of show as he hammers the nail on Karam. Karam's coming good though and putting together a solid run of form. Westerdale, comeback kid, he'll be happy with 3rd place after 6 months out on the sideline. He beat out on Eric Merry and De Kock. And that is us. That is the last visit. We've been out at Delmas 3 rounds in a row at different sides of the farm. And now we look forward to GXCC announcing where we head to rounds 7 and 8 to close out the final 2 rounds of the GXCCs in 2025. All this GXCC racing action is proudly brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield in association with Vans Racing. So that's us for now. 2 rounds remain on the calendar for the GXCC, so check those dates. Remember, there was an adjustment to the final round date in November, and that was to facilitate the Roof of Africa. But alles is mooi as we go forward into the final 2 rounds. This coming weekend, I'm going to be down in George. That's the next round. That's round number 4 of the South African Rally Raid Championship Tour. So all the Dakar superstars, I'll be working down there with those guys. And then the following weekend, that's on the 27th of September. that is where we're going to unload and unleash the first round, the opening round of the Overlands. There's a lot of information that's out there at the moment, so go and check out the page, go and check out the website page, the Facebook page. There's plenty of comms out there to tell you how things are going. And once I get back from George, then I'm going to go out and do a pre-run recce. We've got a handful of pro riders and a couple of names of riders that will remain a secret until now, and they're going to give us a pre-run of the track, tell us their thoughts of it, and make you guys feel lacquer. But basically it's going to be a 30k main loop. It's going to be a nice little loop, probably around about a 15k for the juniors. And we're going to have in the afternoon session a pre-run. We've left a 1 hour window open for you guys to go and check out lap number 1 before you swing off the back and go racing in the pro race in the afternoon. But watch out, keep an eye on the press for that. Overland will be the next job that we take on here at Hollywood at the end of the month. So stay tuned, get those entries in. Entries are open out there at Overland. Can't wait to see you guys on the gate.